In October 2021, the Miller family was driving from the Ozarks when their GPS diverted them onto Old Hollow Road. It was 3 a.m. Screen showed a thriving town, but outside there were only charred remains of houses. Suddenly, the GPS's voice changed. It didn't say turn left. It whispered, don't look at the windows. Elongated faces pressed against the glass, all smiling in unison. Her husband slammed the gas, but the GPS kept rerunning the route, chanting, "You've arrived, you've arrived." They finally hit the main highway. They never found Old Hollow Road on any map again. In 2014, a hiker found a phone with 400 photos of his own sleeping face. Did you know about the sleep stalker of the Appalachian Trail? A hiker named Elias peaked at a remote ridge and set up camp. He woke up feeling a strange pulling sensation on his hair. When he checked his digital camera the next morning, there were 400 new photos taken between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. Every single one was a close-up of his open eyes while he was unconscious. In the very last photo, a pale, long-fingered hand is seen, gently holding his eyelid open. There were no footprints in the mud outside his tent, only a single wet human tooth left on his pillow. Would you have stayed the night? Comment below. Did you know a Hollywood legend was buried with a ringing phone? In 1962, a famous starlet was terrified of being buried alive, so she requested a functional telephone be placed in her casket. 3 days after the funeral, her lead doctor received a call. He rushed to the cemetery with groundskeepers, but as they reached the grave, the ringing started coming from under the dirt. They dug frantically, but when they opened the lid, the phone line had been cut from the inside. Did you know a delivery driver was lured into a basement by a toddler? In October 2022, a driver named Leo delivered a large pizza to a derelict house in Detroit at 3 a.m. A child's voice from behind the screen door whispered, "Mummy's in the basement, she has the cash." Leo, worried for the kid, stepped inside. The air smelled like rotting copper. As he reached the basement stairs, he saw a child sitting in the dark, but it wasn't a kid. It was a grown man wearing a porcelain doll mask, crouched on all fours. The man didn't move. He just started mimicking the sound of a baby crying with perfect, terrifying accuracy. Leo bolted, but when he reached his car, his dashcam captured the masked man standing in the upstairs window, holding Leo's own house keys. Leo moved states the next day. Would you have gone inside? Comment below. Did you know a free couch on Craigslist led to a 2022 disappearance? In March 2022, 19-year-old Leo Miller in Seattle saw a post for a free velvet sofa. The address was an abandoned industrial lot. He arrived at 10 p.m., his GPS flickering wildly. A man in a surgical mask met him, pointing to a crate in the back. Leo stepped inside the dark container to check the fabric. But as his fingers touched the velvet, he realized it wasn't cloth, it was human hair sewn together. Before he could scream, the heavy iron door slammed shut. His last outgoing call lasted 3 seconds. The only sound was a rhythmic metallic scraping and a wet, heavy breathing. Police found his car, but the crate and the man were gone. To this day, the Craigslist post occasionally reappears with a new photo of the couch, and the fabric looks slightly more blonde. Comment your city and I'll tell you its most dangerous street. Did you know a hiker in 2022 found a human nest made of hair and clothes? Sarah Jenkins was trekking a remote trail in the Great Smoky Mountains when she smelled something metallic. Tucked inside a cave, she found a massive, woven structure. It wasn't sticks, it was thousands of strands of human hair intertwined with shredded hiking flannels. As Sarah filmed it, she saw a digital watch tangled in the mess. It was still ticking. Then she heard a wet, rhythmic slapping sound coming from the back of the cave, like bare feet on damp stone. She turned her flashlight and saw a pale, elongated figure crouched in the rafters. Clutching a pair of glasses she recognized from a missing persons poster. Sarah ran, but when rangers returned, the nest was gone. The only thing left was Sarah's own hair tie sitting on a flat rock. She hasn't slept since.